Was there something in specific that you wasn't feeling?
Yeah, I saw some Shea is a lot closer to Kobe than that was ridiculous. I saw something along those lines. Then I got a text talking about
y'all leaving work for this is crazy. By the way, what's up, bro?
leaving. I'm here, like I'm still in the. I'm leaving work. I'm leaving work for work.
Dale, the way it was exactly, was Shea is closer to Kobe than Kobe is closer to Jordan.
Who said that?
Yeah.
Can I get an explanation? That was AI generated. Nobody would. Really
I'm not watching the. I'm not watching that clip. I read the title. Can you explain the rationale for that?
Yeah, I think Michael Jordan's that good.
So you just think? So it's not about Shea and Kobe. It's about how much better Michael Jordan is than Kobe. That's what
the point was that people were getting up in arms about anyone comparing anyone to a past great, and I said it's been quite conventional to compare.
Not just a past great, Pin.
Yeah, it is just a past great. Look, man, I'm old enough to remember Grant Hill is the next Michael Jordan talks. I remember that. That happened for years. I'm old enough to remember Penny Hardaway could be the next Michael Jordan. I remember that. I'm even old enough to remember Mikael Petrus might be the next Michael Jordan. So
none of them were as good as Kobe, though.
Let Penny stay home.
Wait, let him
That's
finish.
not the point.
Let him finish.
So
I want to see where he's going with this.
we have absolutely talked about players against past greats. We've done it. We talk about Luka versus Magic Johnson. We talk about LeBron versus Jordan. LeBron versus Magic. I'm sorry, LeBron doesn't have as many rings as Michael Jordan, and those comparisons started before he got his second ring. So look, man, we've talked about players in that context,
Let me ask you a
but
question.
people get really upset when we put Shea in those contexts or Jokic in that context. And I have a suspicious feeling that it's because they're both international.
What?
But that might not be it.
Whoa, what?
No, he said that might not be it. Okay.
But, so let me.
So then why bring it up then, Chill? You can't just let him say that and then say, "Oh, maybe not," and just let him get away with it.
It's like
Chill. You being real passive today. I don't like it.
Do you really feel like that though, Penn? Like you brought the Canadian thing up. Do you really feel like that?
Shea
do you think him being Canadian has something to do with it? Yes or no?
Shea and Jokic did not benefit from the same AAU hype that a lot of these young players came up with. Cats like RJ Barrett, who is Canadian, happens to be Canadian. Cats like Cade Cunningham. So when players like that ascend, that kind of matches your expectation of what you thought they would be when they were 14, 15, 16, as you were starting to envision. Because let's be honest, we get really hype about 16-year-olds, right? I was up there saying AJ DeBonsa going to be this and that because of who he was at 16. So right now, AJ is getting stamped at 16 as he's next up. He's the next one. Anthony Edwards, first overall pick. But when guys like Shea, who's like 11th overall pick, supposed to be a role player, comes out of Kentucky.
Whoa, Penn, don't say 11th overall pick. From where? I'm sorry.
Kentucky.
A lottery pick out of Kentucky.
From the University of Kentucky. He went to a big time Division I school.
So did Casey Wallace.
He was a class A athlete.
So did Casey Wallace.
Can we get back to the Kobe thing, please?
But keep
so
going.
I'm just saying that when guys like Jokic and guys like Shea come out of, kind of the blue a little bit, there's a little bit more apprehension about anointing them as next up. They weren't high lottery picks. You didn't have those expectations of them coming out. Right. So there's really nothing there that built into your expectation that they were supposed to be that player. Y'all have no problem putting Cade Cunningham in, he might be the second best shooting guard in the league. You got Ron up here. Hey, people have said that. People have said,
that's just outside. That's not as outrageous as what you said, though.
Wait, hold on.
It's a lot more outrageous than what I said.
As you were saying,
we can hear you, Dale.
As you were saying, Dale.
A couple of things you said incorrectly. One is the hype thing. Kobe wasn't compared to Mike when he first got drafted. I don't know if you know that. So that's an X right there. Kobe had to prove himself.
But I didn't say that.
No, but you're saying that this hype thing that you're talking about with like Shea and Jokic, it doesn't make any sense to me. Like,
was Kobe one of the best high school players in the country?
Yes.
Okay. Was Shea the best high school player? Was Shea a better high school player than Kobe?
Who knows? Shea was drafted higher than him, though. He was 11th. Kobe was 13th. What are you talking about? That makes no sense.
In an era where people did not draft high schoolers very high. Tracy McGrady was 9th. Jermaine O'Neal was 17th or 16th. Kevin Garnett was 5th.
the number 5. Yeah, the year before.
That's high. That's higher than 13. What are you talking about? Let me finish, though, because you said a lot of stuff I didn't agree with. You said this hype stuff from Europe. Of course, Joe's not going to have the hype. He was a second-round pick. So what hype are you talking about? Luka had it, right? Luka had the hype. Why are you not bringing up Luka in this? He's European too. You're not bringing him up. You're not
People
bringing
have
up.
No problem putting Luka in LeBron conversations. People have been putting Luka and LeBron conversations for years. That's my whole point. My point is when you're an underrated prospect, not Luka, not RJ Barrett.
Why would someone hyper?
Why would he be underrated though?
But why would they hyper underrated prospect anyway though? That doesn't make sense. You have to make yourself that. What are you talking about? I'm trying to explain.
I don't know why everyone's so confused about what I'm saying because I swear I'm speaking plain English.
But SGA wasn't underrated. He was properly rated. He didn't have the same.
What does this have to do with Shea being?
Yeah, that's what I'm confused.
I'm saying that for someone to put Jalen Brunson, Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, Jokic in higher conversations, there's usually a lot more scrutiny because they weren't hyped as prospects. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
That's not true though. Shea's on. Nobody comes with scrutiny. The reason, and then you also said people are comparing. LeBron doesn't have rings. You said some of the rings compared to somebody. You said something like that.
Yeah, like LeBron was being compared to Jordan before he won his second ring.
You're comparing Shea to Kobe, and he has 0 rings, and Kobe has 5.
Cool.
What?
Stay right there, Dell. Stay right there because Penn, we had this conversation yesterday.
What is he talking about?
Where we are right now with SGA, I think we're in year 8, if I'm not mistaken. Are we in year 8 or year 7?
He came in 2018. Yes.
Okay, so we're in year 7. So, but I asked you this question yesterday, Penn, and I'm gonna ask it again in front of the panel. Year 7, Bryant was in year 2003. Compare that Bryant to SGA today. Where is the gap in your estimation?
There isn't a gap.
So they're the same dude. That's what we're doing.
Did you see Kobe in that playoff run?
I hate to step in and interrupt this intense yap session that you're currently watching, but I just have to inform you on all the amazing, spectacular, fabulous, endless ways to play and win over at Prize Picks. Basketball fans, I know the season is just tipping off. Yes, I know this. But you know what that means? It means that you have an opportunity to pick your favorite players and their matchups that are the most thrilling, and you can win money from these. With Prize Picks, you can play daily NBA contests and test your hoop knowledge by choosing the player projections and every single stat line imaginable to make your Prize Picks and take home some nice hard-earned cash. Are you a rookie in the game? Don't even sweat it. I got the playbook for you right here. All you have to do is download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and you will get $50 instantly when you play 5 here with Prize Picks. So what are you waiting for? Download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and join me as we break down all of our amazing daily picks right here on the panel. Prize Picks. Run your game, control your game, win your game. It's easy, baby. It's easy.
Okay.
Focus, Mars. Stay with me, Mars.
Playoff Kobe 2004, 2003, 2002, 2003. Yeah, he was better than what SGA is doing right now. Regular season, SGA is way better. He's more efficient. He has way less help. He is the team's best player.
But he's on a generational team though. He's one of the best teams ever.
He's the reason they're generational.
I'm glad we're here now. I'm glad we can finally have this conversation about what OKC was in the regular season and how much help he has. They also been winning in the series so far.
You guys can straighten me out. I believe in 2003.
I believe in 2003. Wasn't that the year that Bryant had not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5, not 6? Didn't he have 7 straight 40-point games? Didn't he do that year, if I'm not mistaken?
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, I think he had 7 straight 40-point games. I think Kobe was a better defender by a good amount by that point, by the way. And with that being said, SGA, I'm not gonna lie. If we're talking about his defense in the playoffs, what has he done? Respectfully, like he has not had any responsibility relative to anybody on his roster. None. He's literally hiding on every off-ball player in the series. He doesn't do anything. Like he's literally non-existent.
I don't think Shea does anything better than Kobe. I'm trying to think. I can't think of one thing on the basketball court other than dribble slow that he does better than Kobe.
The separation for me is at the rim.
I think he's about 100.
Maybe slashing, but like that's it.
I won't even talk to you guys
Kobe
about
getting to the rack. And when he got there, he's dunking on you.
That's where the separation is.
And that's what I'm saying. Maybe because he's struggling right now.
Slamming it on you.
That's where I'm talking. I think at the rim, I think that it's this. I don't think it's close at the rim between these two dudes. Just off the strength that Bryant played above the rim, and not only did he play above the rim, how much more creativity he had at the rim than SGA with both hands, with the weak hand and with the strong hand. He was a better athlete. He was stronger. He was much better at finishing at the rim. I think that at the rim, I think that's where the step. I ain't even talking about the defense. I ain't talking about him being able to create space. I'm just talking about at the rim, the athlete that he was. I don't think it's close.
You ought to be ashamed of your damn self.
I don't think
because you was there.
No,
you're old enough to have seen Kobe. And we supposed to be letting this younger generation know just the type of demon Kobe was at that moment in time. His footwork was impeccable.
Yes.
His one dribble pull up was second to none. He'll get you on that block. That year that you're talking about, 2003.
4 series better. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Off the top of my head, I can think of 3 series Kobe probably had that would top anything SGA has done by that point. And I'm talking about just 1, 2, like 2001, 2002, 2003.
Pin
at least
really quickly in 2000 I ain't even
don't bring up that Sacramento series because
no I ain't even thinking about. I'm thinking about the San Antonio series in 2001 in the West Finals.
We have
that's the one I'm thinking about. I ain't thinking about none of them other ones.
NBA Finals.
I ain't thinking about the finals. I'm thinking about that San Antonio series.
But this is 3 of 4 series he'd been in though that he struggled to a pretty significant degree though.
Cool.
Well, I mean, that's a big deal, but Penn, I'm saying like that's a big deal though. Like,
and I'm not gonna lie, I love your cool ad libs, and you should get a shirt that say "cool." It's like your 3rd time saying it. I'm a fan of it.
Yeah,
cool
ad lib.
Shouts. That's like me saying shouts.
Like when you be like cool, like to a point that like jabbing you and like right hook to you, be like cool. It's like you taking it, but you only say it when you get right hooked. You be like cool, but it's a great thing. Cool with PC under it.
Yeah,
fire. It's like bubble MVP.
Okay.
Oh no, it's not that good.
You said y'all said that you don't know anything that SGA does better than Kobe.
One person said that.
You said that. Okay.
No, I didn't say that.
No, it was Ron who said.
Was it Ron? Right? My bad.
I disagree.
There's a lot of things that SGA does better than Kobe.
Such as
he's 10% more efficient from 2-point range.
Now Mars
relative to the era.
Mars.
Hold on, relative to the era. Relative to the era.
I want Mars to get him. Sure. Mars.
Absolutely. What do you want me to do?
You know what to do.
As you Ben, keep going. He's 10% more efficient from 2. Keep going, Ben.
The same years you're talking about. You're talking about 02, 03 with Kobe. You're talking about this year with Shea, and we're talking regular season here.
Wait,
Shea has a 3-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. Kobe had a 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio. I was told that assist to turnover ratio really matters because if it matters with the Jokic, so
we're talking regular season.
Kobe turned the ball over a lot more, and he made fewer assists. He made fewer passes. I also want to bring up the fact that SGA has never played with any player ever in his life.
Can't do the help conversation with SGA though. I just
I want to see where he's going. I want to see where he's going.
Best player since he got to the to the Thunder with that 1 year.
He wasn't. Because he's been their best player in the playoffs.
Chris Paul. He has been throughout any year that you can consider SGA's prime from 23 onward. He's been his team's best player.
Yes,
that is not something that Kobe had to go through until Shaq left. When Shaq left and Kobe was left with depleted rosters that didn't have that type of talent, he was in 1-round exits or in the lottery. Okay, it wasn't until you put up a really veteran-laden roster around him with a lot of really good players like Pau Gasol, Andrew Bynum, Ron Artest, Lamar Odom, Derek Fisher. You brought all those players back. You had the best coach of all time. Now, I want to bring up youth and inexperience because I think everyone up here can agree that you get better with reps. Throughout life, you get better with reps.
Okay.
You are talking about the best player, bar none. There's no conversation about, is he better than Chet? Is he better than J-Dub? No, it's clearly he's 2 times better than those players. He's so much better than his.
Why is Michael Jordan better than Shea?
Hang on, Matty Ice. Hang on one sec. This OKC Thunder team was
that's good logic though.
Not only according to some people the best regular season team or one of the 5 best regular season teams we've ever seen. They're not only the best defense analytically we've ever seen. They were also the youngest team in the NBA this year.
What is that defense?
That's correct.
Let me ask you a question.
That is correct.
The same logic you just used for like Kobe compared to Shea, you could use the same thing for Michael Jordan. If you want to tax Kobe for being less efficient in an era where there was less possessions and guys just naturally weren't as efficient as they are now, you can do the same thing with Michael Jordan. You want to talk about like Kobe not winning unless you got those veterans around the same team? I can do the same thing with Michael Jordan.
You do it with anyone though. But that's not the problem.
Maddie, and this is why you cook me in the PCL.
But this is the point, man.
Kobe. No, wait, hold on, Penn.
No,
I just want to know, like, what's the extent of picking and choosing, like, the logic that you want to use when it comes to this?
My extent is that there is a window of opportunity where superstars win championships, and it's usually when they have veteran-laden rosters with veteran coaches, where they have a lot of playoff reps behind them, and they've gone through the failures. Jokic went through a lot of failures before they emerged as a champion. Giannis went through a lot of failures. There is a natural progression here. Now, unfortunately, the OKC Thunder are a 68-win team. They're not a 42, 44-inch, 44-win play-in team where we can still buy into the whole, they're a young up-and-coming team. But they are a young up-and-coming team.
But neither were the Lakers, though. You said the same thing about the Lakers.
The Lakers were way older, Joe.
I just want to know what young player he had when Shaq left that was good as J-Dub. That's an all-star.
You think when Shaq left, he was as good as J-Dub?
No, I'm saying you're downing Kobe teams as all these. At that time, when they left, who did Kobe have that was good as the all-star J-Dub?
I don't think anyone on his team was as good as J-Dub or Chet.
So why you?
I don't rate Kwame Brown like that, but I'm saying when he had those teams. Because you're comparing a lottery team to a 68-win regular season team. Those are not the same thing.
He didn't have those teams. You're using that team Kobe had to compare to Chet teams this year, where it doesn't add up.
I'm telling you that Shea is not playing with another superstar. So if you want context,
stop. No. You did that. You brought up that team when Shaq left and compared it to Chet's best team, which is this year. It's not a good comparison. Chet has a great bench. He has a Lou Dort, and he also have a fellow All-Star. Kobe had Chris Mim, Kwame Brown, Smush Parker, who plays with me on my pro-am team. Till this day, Smush Parker, he's also a referee now. That's who you're comparing to this 68-win team. That doesn't make any sense.
Chucky Atkins.
What I'm trying to tell you is that when Kobe Bryant did not have a lot of help around him, Kobe Bryant was not winning championships.
Duh. Like, why you even some of the stuff? Are you serious? Like, we know that.
You want to ice? No. Here's the thing: we're comparing teams here. We're comparing team success. We're comparing, championships and all this stuff. Last I checked, all of that is team. No player has ever won a championship without their head coach. You want to put Mark Daigneault in Phil Jackson conversations? Because I don't. You want to talk about the experience?
He is the coach. Phil Jackson wasn't always Phil Jackson. Penn, don't do that. Don't do that.
Hang on, I'm not putting him in conversation.
Phil Jackson wasn't always Phil Jackson. Just like Greg Popovich wasn't always Greg Popovich.
And Mark Daigneault might become as good as Phil Jackson in 20 years, but he ain't there today, Chill. So what I'm saying is, how many times have we talked about in this series already? Mark Daigneault has made a mistake. Mark Daigneault is he fouled too early. These are experience. These are mistakes that veteran teams do not make. Typically, these are mistakes that young teams make. Lou Dort, relative to NBA experience, is young. Chet is in his second freaking year. Kobe wasn't winning championships with second-year players. Those second-year players were his bench bomb.
Can we just admit the league is different now, though? Like in OKC,
the league is a little bit younger. Yes, they are younger. Yes, they are
OKC has the most talented roster in the NBA, though. Like that
what
matters.
I'm trying to tell you is put some damn respect, because this dude that you don't want to, that you say couldn't tie Kobe's jockstrap, just was the best player on a damn near 68-win team as the youngest team in the league. And by the way, none of that shit has ever happened before.
Why do people keep bringing up that youngest point thing when they're just
because young teams lose,
but they're clearly better than everybody in the regular season, though. Like I don't. For me,
they're not better without him.
They were very good without him, though. Like I think we had this conversation all season. They were
Rockets are one of the youngest teams in the league, and they were the 2 seed.
Yes, credit to their youth. And credit to
Chill. I explained to you in Penn yesterday that them 68 wins was fake. I explained it to you.
And they don't count.
You did say that.
Oh no,
no, they count. No, they count 100%.
The score got manipulated.
No, Ron. I don't mean it like that.
Of course.
No, let me tell you, Ron, because it's like when these veteran teams, the Nuggets, the Clippers, even the Warriors, to a lesser extent the Warriors because they had trouble early. Even Minnesota, some of those teams, right? They saw how close the West was and realized the 1 seed and the 5 seed is the same thing. You know what I'm saying? The 2 seed and the 6 seed, it don't really matter. So that was kind of more so going through the season, trying to stay healthy, trying to get healthy, trying to work on things that they were going to need to work on in the playoffs, different sets, different schemes, you know what I mean? Things like that. These young teams like the Rockets and OKC, they didn't see that, you know what I'm saying? So they didn't have the foresight, you know what I mean?
So they was just like, in the regular season.
Not even exhaust themselves. They were just like, we're gonna win. We gotta win. We gotta get that 4. They gotta get that 1 seed. Those 68 wins don't mean nothing, man.
What's it
that ain't about? I really, this help conversation for me is just wild, because outside of maybe Boston, who in the league is better situated to be able to advance throughout the playoffs with the health that he has? Like, even yesterday, they won because of their bench. They had 3 guys come off the bench that made buckets and played defense.
Here's also the flip side to that. You can't give me a team that has won the NBA championship with a bunch of kids at the helm. You can't. There's not one team in NBA.
Maybe like the first NBA
77 Portland Trailblazers.
Yeah, the 77 Blazers. That's the team.
That's the youngest team.
Almost 50 years ago.
Right. And the last team that was young, the last team that was younger than average to win an NBA championship was the 14-15 Golden State Warriors, who won with an average age of 26.3, 26.4.
Those ain't
26
kids.
and a half. Those aren't kids. You're right. You're right. Those aren't kids.
And they had crazy veterans on that team.
Right.
They did.
Not kids. They're not like what Oklahoma City had with KD 23, Russ 22, James Harden.
I mean, how old was the 50 Warriors Finals MVP?
24.
Steph Curry 24, 25, something like that.
24.
As the 2015 Finals MVP.
Yeah, he was.
Oh, you talking about Andre Iguodala? You talking about Andre Iguodala?
I mean, I'm not saying that he was better than Curry. I'm just bringing it up. Like
he's been in the league. I think he showed up in 2006, 2000.
I think. Yeah, exactly.
So he's been in the league almost 10 years at that point.
Yeah, that's why Steph couldn't win the Finals MVP. He wasn't old enough. So shout out to Andre Iguodala.
Caruso Finals MVP this year.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. You're the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.